The holy month of Ramzan is almost over. Austere fasting, and it's nearing the happy culmination of Ramzan. Eid al-Fitr is a finer eve to wish each other everything that's fine. We at Regional Channel wish you Eid al-Fitr wishes. And once again, welcome to News Analysis. News Analysis, a weekly magazine on current affairs. To begin with, the main points in a nutshell. White House scraps Bush's approach to missile shield. Media hype could create problems with China, NSA. Russia's reaction on missile plan leaves Iran issue hanging. Shiv Sena to contest 169 seats, BJP 119 in Maharashtra. Obama says race not behind health protests. Earthquake strikes off island Bali coast. Now the news in detail. Media hype could create problems with China, NSA. The National Security Advisor M.K. Narayanan on Friday sounded a note of caution that the media hype over the recent incursions by China could lead to an unwarranted incident or accident that could create problems with our neighbor. Although Mr. Narayanan acknowledged that the incursions were taking place, he added that there was hardly any increase in these activities and situation was not alarming at all. The NSA disagreed that China was trying to put pressure, saying India of 2009 is not India of 1962, and said both nations are keen to maintain peace and a cordial atmosphere throughout at the border. White House scraps Bush's approach to missile shield. President Obama scrapped his predecessor's proposed anti-ballistic missile shield in Eastern Europe on Thursday and ordered instead the development of a reconfigured system designed to shoot down short and medium-range Iranian missiles. In one of the biggest national security reversals of his young presidency, Mr. Obama canceled former President George W. Bush's plans to station a radar facility in Czech Republic and 10 ground-based interceptors in Poland. Instead, he plans to deploy smaller SM-3 interceptors by 2011, first aboard ships and later in Europe, possibly even in Poland or Czech Republic also. Mr. Obama said the new system will provide stronger, smarter and swifter defense of American forces and America's allies to meet changing threat from Iran. Administration officials cited what they called accumulating evidence that Iran had made more progress than anticipated in building short and medium-range missiles that could threaten Israel and Europe than it had been developing the intercontinental missiles that Bush system was more suited to counter. But the decision churned domestic and international politics as Republican critics at home accused Mr. Obama of betraying allies and caving into Russian pressure, while officials in Eastern Europe expressed discomfort and confusion at the dramatic shift. President Dmitry Medvedev of Russia, who is to meet Mr. Obama in New York next year, reacted cautiously as Moscow tried to determine whether the new system was less threatening to its own security. Russia's reaction on missile plan leaves Iran issue hanging. President Obama's decision to cancel an anti-missile defense system in Europe earned a strong welcome from Russian leaders on Friday. Now the question is whether Russia will do more to help prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Prime Minister Vladimir V. Putin, who had repeatedly assailed that anti-missile system as a grave danger to Russia's security, called Mr. Obama's decision correct and brave. President Dmitry Medvedev hinted that Russia would respond favorably to the decision to replace former President George W. Bush's plan with a missile shield seen as less threatening to Moscow. Still, neither leader offered any immediate indication that Russia would make specific concessions, especially on Iran, which has become a major stumbling block in relations between the two countries. If Russia does not toughen its opposition on Iran's nuclear program, analysts say Mr. Obama may be vulnerable to criticism that he yielded to Russian complaints on the anti-missile plan but received little in return. Troops well deployed to prevent infiltration, says Army Chief. Army Chief General Deepak Kapoor affirmed here that the attempts to infiltrate into Kashmir from elements in the Pakistani side were correct. They are attempting to infiltrate before the winter season starts, but the troops are all well deployed in various places and at strategic locations to meet the challenge and keep the infiltration under check, he said, responding to a question of the officers in the training academy. Now from the state of Kerala, fasting of a month long is now coming to a close. It's now preparing for a celebration of the happy culmination of this tedious fasting. Eid al-Fitr cleanses us of all follies. Let peace and contentness dwell over all the subjects of Allah. We have a guest today, Most Revered Abdul Rashid Musliar of Chelembra. Apart from being a teacher of the Kartagudingara Madrasa, he is a noted social activist also, and Arabic scholar too. I welcome Janab Abdul Rashid Musliar to our studios.
Thank you, Mr. Babu Apart. The holy month of Ramzan, when fasting is made moderatory, is al-message over. This is the month of revelation of Holy Quran. The purgation you have achieved by the observance of fasting may remain in you forever. That's what Allah wants from you. I wish every one of you Allah blessing for a legitimate life. I will recite an ayat from Holy Quran. قال الله تعالى قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى. وقال أيضا إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم. Let His blessings be with you always. Thank you.
Fasting is over and fasting is beginning. Ramzan fasting is giving its way to Navaratri fasting. We at Regional Channel extend their Navaratri wishes to all our viewers. We'll move on to the business world. Swiss Exchange investigates UBS. Switzerland Stock Exchange is now investigating banking giant UBS for possible breaches of public disclosure rules during the financial crisis. The investigations will center around information the bank published while it was contending with billions of dollars of bank loans, bad loans in 2007 and 2008. Switzerland's biggest bank declined to comment on the investigation. Earlier this year, UBS was accused of helping Americans evade US taxes by opening accounts in Switzerland. Welcome to the world of science. Reduction in melting of snow in Arctic region. This summer's melt of Arctic sea ice has not been as profound as in the last 2 years, scientists said as the ice began its annual autumn recovery. At its smallest extent this summer, on 12 September, the ice recovered 5.1